There was no provision of vegetarian life at the moment.
Yeah.
People depended on meat.
Yeah.
Remember, they depended on meat, and Medina could not produce so much vegetable.
Yeah.
It was all this food stuff, barley, wheat, and then dates,
Yeah.
grapes, and this and that. No vegetable like what you call palak,
Spinach.
spinach, and then cauliflower, and other things which we have today.
Yeah.
It was not produced in Medina. Of course, the Prophet ﷺ would have liked it if they were available to him. He didn't ban, and the people, of course, they had option. You eat this later on, of course, when it was available, when the empire shifted to Damascus and to Baghdad,
Yeah.
that it was enough there. So they had option. I mean, it was not forbidden.
But I would say during the Prophet's time, meat was a luxury. Was that right? Would you say that?
Not necessity, because they didn't have anything else to eat.
Right.
And remember one thing, that treatment of animal. Now here, as I said, that environment is not spoiled by Muslims, but animals are very badly treated by Muslims.
Of course.
You have seen the donkeys being treated in Afghanistan and Morocco.
Well, you see that people. I find Muslims, they make fun of the West, saying that look how they treat animals. But isn't there a tradition where the Prophet said, if you want to see how just a society is, look at the way they treat the animals? Is that right?
It is not a tradition, but it is true.
Yeah.
I mean, see his examples. I mean, he looks at a camel crying.
Yeah.
He goes, pets it, and then he speaks to the owner, what we are doing.
Yeah.
You have to give him enough food. You are using it, but not taking care of it.
Yeah.
So of course he will endorse, he will say anything of that sort.
Yeah. It was interesting because a friend of mine, he was telling me that there was a convert to Islam. I don't like using the word convert, I think it's a silly word, where their cat died, and that person was so upset that he demanded that imam to give a janazah for a cat. What's your thoughts on that?
What did he do?
Because they were both, the man was a Muslim, but his cat died and he was very attached to the cat. And then he was so upset that he wanted to honor the cat and say that, can you please do a prayer?
Prayer for him. Well, it should be buried with honor, but there is no prayer because she is not going to be required to answer on the day of judgment.
Right.
Animals are not.
So
prayer is mainly done
yeah.
to ask Allah to forgive the person.
But this is very interesting because it shows you the compassion and empathy of the person who lost the...
Yes, yes. Of course, the people should condole him,
yeah.
and then do what they could. But it is not necessary that you have to pray funeral prayer and then spend money on burying it.
But we'll talk about the compassion later. It comes back again. When you're talking about how the Prophet recommended the slaughtering of animals for consumption, he said that the knife should be sharpened to such a point that it's a clean cut. And I find that's in the Jewish tradition, where they say that the knife has to be so sharp that the way they test it is that they rub it across their tongue. If it's sharp, the tongue won't get cut. If it is not sharp, but the point is the slaughtering of animals, it has to be done in a humane way.
He said very clearly, don't torture them.
Yeah.
You know, you bring your knife and sharpen in front of it.
Yeah.
That is bad. He said, don't kill him before it is killed. You are showing this, and that is very bad.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't like it. But what can you do? The people don't take heed.
Yeah.
This is what a person can earn if he really shows sincere pity to an animal, leave alone to a man.
Or like what Hajar did with her.
Who?
Hajar. What she did with her son.
Yes, yes, of course. That is mother. I mean, of course, she will do it by natural love. But if a person saves someone's life, as Quran has said, as though he has saved the life of all human beings.
Yeah.
It is so important. And the Prophet of course mentioned this, that you have to cultivate, you have to develop the land,
Yeah.
and this will be counted as a good deed for you. Anything you plant and then someone comes and eats, uses it for himself, then you are going to get reward. Yes, I mean, no, I mean this is a situation which they have created,
Yeah.
you know, because their needs have become so vast
Yeah.
that it can never be satisfied. You give them money, they pay their mortgage today, they will buy another house to rent. So they are creating them. But really the real poverty is there, where the people don't get something to eat. See the impact of hunger on the children in Africa.
Yeah.